From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 22nd, 2024. Intense fighting continues in Gaza between Israeli troops and terror group Hamas, and the IDF said 3 IDF soldiers were killed in battle today. They are 33-year-old Master Sergeant in Reserve Gidon Chai Derau, 22-year-old Captain Yisrael Yudkin, and 21-year-old Staff Sergeant Eliyahu Chaim Amsalem. The IDF continues to eliminate terrorists and terror infrastructure in Gaza, and today said it located and destroyed multi-barrel rocket launchers that were loaded and aimed at Israel in eastern Rafah, in the border area between Gaza and Egypt. The IDF also eliminated, it said, a significant Hamas anti-tank missile operative involved in the October 7th massacre, along with 2 other terrorists in a targeted airstrike, noting that the operation was suspended momentarily to ensure the safety of a nearby child, stressing that the IDF will continue protecting innocent civilians while targeting terrorists. And Israel's Air Force fighter jets hit a compound inside a school of the UN agency UNRWA, which has been taken over now by Hamas, where its terrorists were operating. And as rockets continued to be fired from Lebanon at northern Israel, the IDF hit targets of terror group Hezbollah, including buildings where terrorists were staying. Well, harrowing video footage of the abduction of 5 female IDF soldiers by Hamas terrorists on October the 7th was released this evening at the request of the families of the young women in an attempt to push for the hostages' release. The video taken by Hamas shows the horrific kidnappings of Liri Albag, Karina Ariev, Agam Berger, Daniela Gilboa, and Naama Levy, who were serving as field observers at the Nahal Oz IDF base that was attacked during the massacre. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum said that the video was edited to remove the most disturbing images. It was released just ahead of a cabinet meeting about the hostages this evening. Israel's President Isaac Herzog said of the video, Liri, Karina, Agam, Daniela, and Naama are still in Hamas captivity, and we are fighting to bring them home, as well as all other hostages, 128 in total. The world must look at this cruel atrocity. Those who care about women's rights must speak out. All those who believe in freedom must speak out and do everything possible to bring all of the hostages home now. Israel has recalled the ambassadors of 3 countries, Ireland, Spain, and Norway, after they declared today that they would recognize a Palestinian state in the next few days. Israel's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yisrael Katz, said of the 3 countries, they decided to award a gold medal to the murderers and rapists of Hamas. He said, I ordered the ambassadors to be immediately summoned for a reprimand conversation, during which Katz said they will watch the horrifying footage of the abduction of the female field observers to illustrate to them what a twisted decision their governments have made. Israel will not let this silently pass us by. Their actions will have serious consequences. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the intention of several European countries to recognize a Palestinian state is a reward for terrorism. Rewarding terrorism will not bring peace, and neither will it stop us from defeating Hamas. Hamas, meanwhile, welcomed the decision of Ireland, Spain, and Norway, as did the Palestinian Authority and the PLO. The Times of Israel cited a White House National Security Council spokesperson saying of President Biden's response that he believes a Palestinian state should be realized through direct negotiations between the parties, not through unilateral recognition, saying the president is a strong supporter of a 2-state solution and has been throughout his career. Jewish organizations responded to the decision of the three countries. The Anti-Defamation League saying shame on the governments of Norway, Ireland, and Spain for unilaterally recognizing a Palestinian state. This was always the wrong approach, it said, but doing so in the wake of Hamas's genocidal massacre is a victory for those seeking Israel's violent destruction. B'nai B'rith International said following the October 7th massacre, this decision by the three countries sends a dystopian message that murder, rape, and kidnappings are effective tools in the global arena. The American Jewish Committee saying the decision sends a troubling signal in the aftermath of October the 7th that violence, murder, torture, rape, and kidnapping are effective tactics to achieve a political goal. Recognizing a Palestinian state at this juncture rewards those who believe they can substitute terrorism and subsequent international pressure for the necessary compromises that peace requires. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, May the 22nd. At 7 o'clock, David Harris speaks candidly about American Jews under assault and what is the battle plan. At 7:30, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with author Jeremy Eichler about his book, Time's Echo. At 8 o'clock, Robert Siegel examines the state of American Jewry today with Franklin Foer, Leonard Saxe, and Pamela Nadell. At 9, John Sterling is on L'chaim. At 10, Eric Goldman sits down with filmmaker Aviva Kempner, who discusses her documentary, The Spy Behind Home Plate. At 10:30, a replay of this newscast, and coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, May the 22nd, 2024. I'm Teisha Bader. Am Yisrael Chai.